Hey, Flippin' Landlord Ninja here.
Kevin the Property Prince.
So we're here to talk to something kind of relevant to today about COVID.
How about that? Us talking about something relevant. That's going to be great.
And we just want to talk about assistance for people with back owed rent.
Right. Right now, as I'm sure anybody that rents property knows, there's a danger nationwide of not being able to collect rent. Tenants are simply allowed to not pay if they choose to not pay, and there's really no recourse for a landlord anytime soon.
Correct.
So what we wanted to talk to you about is a little bit about our experience and maybe help share some inside information about what a landlord can maybe do at this point to help with that situation.
Yeah, so luckily the government has set up some programs that you can, and also charities out there that you might be able to find out in your area. Every area probably a little different. There's a few programs in our area that we've found that work really well. And you just need to kind of find the information and help get it in the hands of the tenant, I think, because unfortunately the government hasn't directly assisted us landlords, unfortunately.
Right.
The burden's kind of been put more to help the tenant, but...
Yeah, that's 100% right. I mean, I think we all wish that the government had given us some mechanism in which a landlord could apply somewhere and say, hey, listen, you're not letting me evict families or households or collect rent, so here's what I'm out this month, please pay it, or something along those lines. That's not really what's set up. What is set up instead in a lot of different communities, and there's quite a bit of it in ours, so you'd have to look locally to find out what your area might have. But there are a lot of funds set up for tenants to apply and get qualified for funding to pay back owed rent, maybe even some utilities, yep, things like that, in addition to all the assistance programs that are already in existence across America for folks that are struggling financially to stay housed, homelessness prevention programs, those kind of things. There's so much funding right now out there. The big caveat, at least in our area, probably in yours, is that the tenant has to be the one initiating it and jumping through some pretty minor hoops, to be honest, to get these funds. And in our area, it's funds they don't have to pay back. I mean, we have a program locally using state funds that provides up to $4,000 of state assistance, rental assistance, state funds, tax-free, repayment-free. It's not a loan to tenants. All they have to do is, reasonably qualify.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, every program is going to be a little different, but majority of the programs I've seen is that it's maybe a one-page application, and they just need to attest that they've actually been impacted by COVID.
Yep, absolutely.
And which, for the most part, I think we've all been impacted one way or another.
Yeah,
so,
it's not much of a stretch for a tenant to be able to explain some type of a narrative where they've been impacted by the coronavirus, in their town or in their community, and they'll essentially be granted $4,000. It gets paid directly to the landlord. Landlord will get some paperwork from the tenant or the housing association or whatever that's distributing and handling the funding.
Which I think is really good, because as they keep extending the eviction moratoriums in different states, it's just really kicking the can down, whereas this will help minimize that problem, because I think there's going to be a big issue with a huge eviction crisis.
It's going to be insane. It's going to literally be insane.
It's going to be floodgates as it opens.
Floodgates opens. Again, we live in a very in a state that's very overly tenant friendly. And it's already challenging enough to evict families. But getting into a court situation with a household that is suddenly, because they haven't paid rent in however many months they decide to not pay rent, $8,000 behind or several $1,000s behind, right, it's going to be a situation that they just can't resolve. They're going to get in there. They're going to say, well, you know what? I don't have any money. Whatever money I had as income or through whatever various means,
yep,
they churned through for whatever reason. And the best they can offer is some kind of repayment plan,
and I mean, exactly, a repayment plan of
$8,000
$100 a month.
I mean, towards their balance, and
it'll take years and years.
And to be honest, it's not, in my opinion, it's not fair that a landlord should have to be asked or kind of forced
to subsidize that. Essentially, it's giving them a loan.
Yeah. Landlords are just not in that position, especially if you're a mom and pop landlord. You only have a few units, or even if you have,
even if you have a lot, maybe the more people that do it.
Yeah, you have a staff probably, right? If you have hundreds of units, you have mortgages, you've got. Everybody knows the expenses a landlord has, except maybe the general populace.
So, I mean, well, the tip here, I guess,
Yeah.
is what we've been doing to help kind of get this in the hands of the people that can make it happen, the tenants, is we've been working on sending everyone an email with maybe a link saying, hey, if you don't know about this program, here it is.
Spreading the awareness. Spreading the awareness to the tenants. Huge. Getting the word out. We sent them literally the same thing in mail, in text messages, in email. What else have we done that was a crazy extra step, believe it or not?
So if we found that they haven't responded to that and they're not seeming active with that, we've actually gone and knocked on their door. I mean, absolutely. Kevin and I have both done it.
Absolutely.
And we've gone and basically, if they ask them if they've actually started applying, where they're at in the process, and they're, I haven't done it yet. Well, great news. I have a tablet right here, linked up to the website.
We put the application right in their hand.
Yeah, there.
We kind of go out there and knock on the door with the assumption that, of course, they, followed our advice and our pleas that they pay us for our services with this free money. So we just knock on the door and say, hey, listen, we haven't heard back from you. We assume you've already applied. Where are you in the process? And some people have literally said, I haven't actually done it.
And some have actually done it.
Or
a
lot of them have, sure.
Which is awesome.
But and it's been great. We've been very successful in helping people navigate through this program and getting these funding, and that's amazing. But one of our tips here is you can actually do that much more. So if you're a landlord and you're sitting there feeling like, what can I do? I'm stuck. I'm powerless. I can't do anything to collect this rent. I can't get these people to. I can't make them pay. This is what you can do. Yes. Put the opportunity to have $4,000 in their hands. Or whatever it might be. Again, different areas have all sorts of different programs. But in our situation, this is what we did. Yep. We literally put it in their hand. We went, knocked on the door. Here you go. Fill this out. We'll do the legwork. We'll get the paperwork. I'll get you an Uber.
We'll drop it off. Whatever it might be.
Uber to the work or whatever you got to do. Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever we can do to help facilitate that, we took those extreme measures. I mean, it's very time consuming.
It is time consuming, but honestly though, I mean, if we had to spend an hour per tenant and we got $4,000, it seems like time well spent.
Oh, huge, absolutely, and it helps us. It allows the landlord to weather this corona storm. Keep the lights on, pay your bills, pay your staff. Yep. Make sure your people that count on you for a paycheck are getting that paycheck. And to us, that's one of the most important things right now.
If you're a smaller mom and pop, just covering your mortgage to make sure you don't have to, get impacted yourself.
That way you're not going to be in the, a foreclosure video that we're going to talk about eventually down the road, right? We want to do everything we can to help everybody else stay stable out there.
Right. So kind of just a quick recap.
Yeah.
The tip basically is find out any programs in your area and then get that information to your tenant.
And how can you do that? How can you find out? A Google search, obviously, but calling your city hall, calling your city's housing authorities.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Call your state. I mean, I'm sure there's different programs that they're offering.
Yep. And there's regional nonprofits usually across the country.
Catholic charity type stuff.
Yep. That are set up to distribute state funds for this exact type of stuff. Homeless diversion, homeless prevention, all these kind of things are out there. That's what you should be asking for, and get all this information, gather it up, and put it in your tenant's mailbox, in their email box, in their voicemail box, and
whatever you got.
Right on their doorstep if you have to. I mean, this is not a lot we can do right now. This is one of the big things you can do to help make sure that money that is earmarked and budgeted and ready for people in need.
Getting it in your hands now, limiting the problems down the road, because if you can help them get caught up now, it's going to stop a lot of the overloading of the courts, all this kind of stuff. We got to minimize this, otherwise this is going to be a huge problem.
It's going to be a huge
coming months.
He's right. It's going to be a huge problem nationwide when there's a 6-month backlog at your housing court. So even after they lift the moratorium, good luck. You just forget about getting into court and getting a judgment and getting that apartment vacant anytime soon. So it'll help everybody.
Again, I'm sure every state's a little different.
Every state's going to be different. But again, this will help everybody if you don't have to get into a situation where you have to evict your tenant. But before you even worry about or focus about how to solve that bigger picture, solve your current situation, your current picture. You have a non-paying or multiple non-paying households or people that are just simply behind, kicking you what they can each month.
Exactly.
This will wipe out their balances in a lot of cases.
Put them in good standing. It reduce their stress, reduce your stress.
Yep. You come across, literally you'll come across, and you are, to an extent, a hero. You're a good, caring landlord.
Yep.
You don't have to make this just about money. Listen, I have needs. I have to pay these bills. I have to keep this house going. Yep. I want you guys to stay here. And I say this all the time, and it's 100% true. I don't want to ever have to make a family or a household go homeless. I don't want to do that.
That's not why we're in this business.
I did not do
We're
that.
in to rent houses.
I literally did get to this exactly, to give people homes, to keep people in homes,
Yep.
not to ask people to leave them. And, so the only time that happens is when somebody has essentially made that happen themselves. We never go to a situation.
That's fair. We definitely make all efforts to keep everyone housed.
Yep, and I will always swear by that as something we always want to do is, be the ones who have no other choice but to do that. So.
Yeah. So if you guys have any comments or questions about this, please put them below, and please subscribe and like this.
And share, get the word out. There's going to be other landlords, even if you know somebody that is thinking about renting, share this video to them, get them, to have some idea about how this industry works. And, we really want to reach as many people as we can.
I'll actually add, I'll add in the comments or description about what programs have locally with here.
Yep.
If everyone else maybe around can add programs that are local to them, that might help everyone else.
It's a great idea. What a great idea, especially if we start getting a little bit more nationwide, attention and views.
Yep.
We'll start putting together a lot more information. Maybe we can become a hub to help other landlords. So
exactly.
You can actually right now help others by contributing your information.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.